This is the game Landnama, and I just played through it at the basic level, normal level, and I enjoyed it enough that I was going to play it again and wanted to share the gameplay with you so that you can see what the game is like. Let me go back and I'm going to redo the tutorial so that you can see that alongside me. I'm going to turn this on so that the game automatically pauses throughout. I don't see where to turn on the tutorial, but I believe that there's a way to do it from within the game. So I could do some of these different versions, these different game modes, but I'm going to begin a saga, which is the primary game mode, and I'm going to try Hagalaz 2 difficulty, which gives a 75% chance for events to be curses, +3 per harvest required to start an upgrade, which means that it costs 3 extra to do any building. And then before my main capital can upgrade the final time, it will require an extra 20 to get there. So I'm going to begin. Now, the first thing that we have to do is choose our clan. The concept of this game is that we're settling. We have multiple clans to select from. I believe we have a total of 9. And if there are 9 clans, then there are 6 territories that we have to settle, which means that we have 9 chances to settle all 6 territories. Now, if one of our clans fails to settle one of the territories, or in effect, if it dies, if it fails through the winter, as you'll see here in a moment, that's okay because we have an extra 3 clans. So it's okay if they don't all survive. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start with the Helga. They start with +5 hearts at the start of every settlement. And then the ability is an extra heart per harvest from the home tile. We're going to choose onward. Now we get to decide which region, sorry, not a territory, but a region. Which region do we want to settle first? And I'm actually going to choose the Glacier region, simply because it's the most challenging region. And so I'd like to start at the hardest and get through it first. And then I feel like if I can get through that, it'll give me confidence that I'll be able to get through the rest. Versus if it takes me a few tries to get through here, I may have chosen too difficult of a level to go through. In this land, it is cold. And the main saga effect after I discover, if you see at the bottom, the landmark discovery saga effect is -5 winter's toll, which we'll see. All right, arrival at Hornothsjordr, a magical sight greeted the weary travelers as they reached the cold shores of this unfamiliar land. Black sand beaches lay in contrast against the shimmering chunks of ice strewn across them. Like stars blanketing a midnight sky, in the distance looms an endless wall of ice, as far as the eye can see. An unwelcoming, harsh land, but a mesmerizing sight to take in. This will be a difficult place to survive, but surely there must be resources to be found. Now the land must be explored and buildings raised to build heart and establish a settlement that can stand the test of time. Onward. The game is paused for the moment, and the concept is you'll see up top here is where we have our heart production, and right now every time that we produce hearts, we produce 2 hearts. And you'll see at the top row, at the top bar, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 little heart icons along the path. And that means 4 times out of every year, as time passes, we will produce the amount of hearts. In this case, 2, and eventually we'll be able to produce more hearts at each production point. And at every year, at the end at the right, you'll see 0 to 1. So this is winter's toll. We need to have hearts stockpiled to get through winter. And the first winter is pretty straightforward. The most hearts we could lose is 1. But eventually it'll get up to 20, 30, 50, 100 hearts every winter that we could risk losing. And if we don't have enough hearts, then that clan dies. We have a total of 10 hearts that we're starting with, which is good. We can do a mix of exploring and settling. I'm going to explore here and explore here first. We still have 8, which will be enough to produce a fisherman and 1 more building. I'd just like to see kind of where we're at, or at least discover a few more tiles before I build our first building. We just discovered 2 more buildings, and we produced our first round of hearts. We have enough hearts because the cost to explore close by is 1 heart. I can explore here, and I can explore here. We still have enough to build a couple buildings. I'm gonna go ahead and build a fisherman right here, and I'll build a woodcutter right here, and that'll help us produce more hearts. All of the buildings produce hearts, and they all cost hearts. Hearts are the only resource other than time. And now we're just waiting for the tiles to be explored and the buildings to be built. And you'll notice while time passes around the circles, up top along the bar, time is passing from left to right as well. And so as the bar fills up, we'll get to winter, which is where we need to have between 0 and 1 hearts stocked up. We explored a little bit more. We don't have any hearts to continue exploring, but here's where we'll probably build a pasture, and over on the highland tile, we'll build a hunter when we have enough resources. I'll resume. The game automatically pauses anytime that we finish exploring a tile, or just about anytime something happens. All right, so our production capacity just went up. We finished building a fisherman and a woodcutter, and now instead of earning 2 hearts per production moment, we produce 5. Now I'm just thinking about where to go next. We're going to have 5 hearts at our next round, which means that we'll probably want to build either a hunter or build a pasture, and we'll have 1 left over to spend on exploration. I do think I'll explore this tile when we have the heart before I choose what building to build, because we get bonuses if the tiles match. If this unexplored tile ends up being a highland, then it makes more sense to build a hunter for the highland. But if this unexplored tile is a grassland, then it'll make more sense to build a pasture. All right, and now we have enough that I'm gonna go ahead and explore here. We just got our next load of 5. And then based on what we find there, will influence what we build. Okay, so it's a highland. What that means is we're going to build a hunter, because you'll notice that we get a bonus heart for every empty adjacent highland tile build. And that'll be built now in 2 rounds. And maybe, I don't think so, but maybe we'll finish it before the next production of hearts, which will give us an extra 2 hearts. I'm gonna speed time up because we're just waiting for this building. This is great news. The hunter did trigger before our next production round of hearts. We'll get +7 hearts instead of +5. That's really good. Resume, and just enough to get to our production of hearts. Now where should we spend that? There's this is called a curiosity tile, I think, having the little guy there. There's a 75% chance that this will curse us though, and I don't really feel like being cursed. I'm going to skip past that tile for the moment. I will explore this tile though, and I hope it's a wetland or a sea tile, because that'll help our fishermen produce better. And then I'll send our other explorer here. No, never mind. I'm gonna cancel that, and I am going to build a pasture next now that we have enough hearts. So that'll help us produce more. And resume. I'm gonna pause again. So the tiles that we were exploring initially, these ones, they cost 1 heart to explore. But as we get farther away from our homestead, it costs more to explore. You'll see now it costs 2, and it takes longer. So it becomes more costly as time goes on. We are just about to the finish of exploration. Right. Aha! This was a sea tile, which means that now our fisherman is producing 3 hearts per turn. Next up, I'm going to explore here. Oh, never mind. I don't have enough hearts, but that will be one of the places I'd like to explore next. I'll resume. Oh, I'll pause here. So you'll see my homestead. Now there's a timer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 little slots because it is upgrading to a farmstead. At the top left of this box, you see the 8 hearts. When I get to the point where I'm producing 8 hearts herb production moment, my home automatically starts upgrading to the next level, which gives me new buildings and mastery points where I can use to boost different levels of production. Now we're just waiting. We have 10 to spend now. Let's start exploring. Let's start spending a decent amount on exploring, because that'll help give us more information about what we should do next. Gonna speed time up while we get to winter. Winter Soul, we're gonna lose between 0 and 1 hearts. We have enough. How many will we lose? 1. Onward. Now you'll see here, next round we're going to lose between 10 and 14 hearts. Oh boy. Let's see what we explored. Did find a wetland, so I will build a peat farm here. That'll help us produce more hearts. And then we'll explore up here as one of our next tiles. After that, I'll probably need to start exploring these event tiles. And anytime we explore an event tile, there's a 75% chance that the event is a curse. Let's resume. Now we're just waiting. We produced 9 hearts. Build here. Now I think the strongest event tile to explore will be here, because I have 3 buildings. I have a hunter, a pasture, and I'm about to have a peat farm. So even if I get cursed, whatever's on this tile has a pretty strong likelihood of being helpful as far as heart production. And then this would probably be my next one, because I have the pasture, the woodcutter, and the peat farm all nearby. Actually, I'm gonna explore this tile instead of up there, because even if this is a good tile, I have no buildings nearby that would be helpful about it. Let's resume. New buildings available. Oh, our home just finished upgrading. We have 1 mastery point that we can start putting to work. Let me look around and see which one we might want. The Tide Master, Timbercraft, Fenwise, the Agriculturalist, or the Bone Carver. Our Fisherman is producing pretty strongly. So we'll probably end up doing that. But I am just going to wait until we finish exploring these tiles in case they are very strong, in case they lean a strong direction towards a different resource. All right, our first effect. Oh no, we lose a random building. Oh gosh, that's the first curse. And the next one, oh, this one's good. Our Winter's Toll just went down from up at the top right. Instead of 10 to 14, it is 9 to 13 now. But the tiles we discovered were both glaciers. That doesn't help us. It looks like the building that we're losing is a pasture. And now that we know that there's no other pasture around here, I don't think it makes sense to rebuild the pasture. But we ought to spend a decent amount of time now exploring to see if we can find a new pasture or find a new grassland quickly to place our pasture on. But I will now put this towards the Fisherman Mastery, which gives us +1 heart per harvest from the Fisherman. Start exploring, because we want to find a pasture, or a grassland. Let's explore this way. We got our, oh gosh, okay. We just got our next round of hearts, and we're at 12 of 15, so we're about out of storage. Actually then put this tile to use, building a house. That's going to help us store more hearts moving forward. And I don't think it makes sense to build anything else yet, but we ought to explore around here to see if we can find, well, no, I think the next big building that we want to build, we just unlocked it, is the shipbuilder. This doubles the production of our fishermen, and our fisherman's producing pretty well. If we do want to build a shipbuilder, it'll cost 20 hearts. So we need more hearts and more space. We can't even collect 20 hearts right now if we wanted to. All right, resume. We are still exploring, searching for a grassland, because right now we're not putting any building like that to use. I'm gonna explore this because if it is a sea tile, that will be really strong for us. Where would we want to explore next? Let's see, this one only costs 2. So let's explore here when our next explorer is available, in case it's a grassland. We just discovered a glacier. That doesn't help us. Hopefully this might be a pasture, or this tile. Curiosity discovered. So that was the cloaked tile up at the top left. So our exploration time just got 25% faster. That's good news. All right. This tile has a star at the top, you see. So tiles with a star get an extra benefit. If we put the shipbuilder on that tile, we get an extra heart per harvest from fishermen. That's pretty good. So it would give our fishermen an extra heart. If we want that to be useful though, we would need to build the shipbuilder here, which means that we would need to have a fisherman here. Oh boy, this is a challenging decision to make. Let's keep exploring with the hopes that we find either more information about the sea or we find a grassland. So we still haven't found a grassland. These are going to be curses, most likely. At least a 75% chance, but I think that's worth it for the information. Oh, we finished our house, so now we can hold up to 25 hearts. There we go, so we found a grassland, and let's explore here next, because if this happens to be a grassland next to a grassland, that'll help us anyways. And it gives us information about the sea tiles. The curse is that our exploration cost just went up by 1. This is a woodland. We already have a woodcutter built down here, but if there ends up being more woodland up north, it'll make sense to move where a woodcutter is up north. But I do want to find out what's here, because that should help us make a final decision about what to do with the sea. And I'm not in a rush to spend all of our hearts right now, because we need 9 to 13 hearts stored up for winter. And we're going to produce 12 hearts at our next production point in a day and a half. And so that'll put us at a total of 21. So if we have 21, that means that we can spend up to 8 and we'll still have enough. Is there any strong incentive for us to spend that 8? We've already spent here. I don't think so. We might want to spend on building a pasture once we've uncovered this tile. But let's wait until we have that tile to make that decision. All right. Oh, exploration cost just went up again. It is getting really expensive to explore now. We will build a pasture here because there's nowhere else to build one. And there's a much stronger chance that one of these tiles is also a grassland, versus we know that this grassland tile is not adjacent to any other grassland tiles. And then now we have 7 hearts, plus 12 gets us to 19, which is enough to get through winter. I'm trying to decide if I should start salvaging this fisherman to relocate it over here. Maybe I should wait and explore these 3 tiles, because if any of these 3 are sea tiles, it would change where I place or where I want all of the sea tiles. And I can spend 6 more because right now I'm getting plus 12. So I only need 1 extra. Oh gosh. I'm going to explore here. And now I will resume. We have 13, which is enough for us to get through winter. Game just paused because we finished building our pasture. I don't think that changes anything yet. Resume. Let's get through winter. Why did we explored. This is a wetland. We will want to build a peat farm. Oh no, because we already have a peat farm down here. And this peat farm doesn't even have a star. Winter time. Between 9 and 13, let's see, 11. Which leaves us with 2 now. Oh, so we made it through our 3rd year. And I'm just getting a lay of the land. I still think we should prioritize discovering these 2 tiles before moving around our fishermen, because I just don't know that it makes sense. And ideally, we'll be able to build a second fisherman eventually. If there are some sea tiles here, then it'll make sense to build a second fisherman here and put the shipbuilder in between them. That's what I'm hoping to discover. Right. So we just produced. Now 1, 2, 3. I'm just trying to decide real quick if I want both of these tiles to be discovered at the same time. Yes, I do. Now that's all we're waiting on, is that and then our next level of production. This is really good. I'm very glad I waited. It does cost more to explore now. That was that is the curse. Now we have a fisherman here, and we know we'll be able to prioritize another fisherman here, which means that we can build our shipbuilder right here. Or, shipbuilder is here. A wharf though, the wharf triples the shipbuilder, so the shipbuilder doubles production and then the wharf triples it. But a wharf needs to be adjacent to a shipbuilder. Where could we place the shipbuilder and wharf that they would be adjacent? If I move the fisherman here, and I have a fisherman at this sea tile and a fisherman at this sea tile, then I can build the shipbuilder here and still squeeze in the wharf down here. All right, I'm going to salvage this fisherman and move it down one, because then we'll get to feel the benefit of the wharf. It's gonna slow us down for a moment. And we do still need to have 25 hearts by the end of all this. Ooh, so other than moving the fisherman, I won't have enough heart to do much else other than maybe increase our storage capacity and then stock up for winter. I just don't want to miss out on something important. If we don't increase production anymore, we have 3 more production rounds, but we're going to lose out on the fishermen for at least one of them, which right now is producing 5. So if we lose out on the fishermen, our production will go from 13 down to 8. We do have 3 rounds of production. So if worse comes to worse, we'll still have plus 24 before winter. With the 3 that we have now, means that we'll have enough for winter. I think we'll be able to optimize better than that, but getting rid of this fisherman doesn't sink us. Here, I'm gonna pause for a moment to check this chat. Okay. All right, well, let's resume. Good. We'll rebuild our fisherman here. And then in a perfect world, we'd be able to spend on a shipbuilder, which costs 20 hearts, and still make it to winter with enough. I don't think that'll work out though. But let's let our fisherman be built, and then we'll find out. We'll do the math. We're back to plus 5 hearts. So we'll get 26 hearts before the end of winter. 26 hearts. Need at least 20. I don't think it'll work out because we would need at least 20 to build a shipbuilder. We don't have 20 right now, which means that we would have to wait until the next round of heart production. But if we were to just wait, we don't have enough storage to hold all 13. And I certainly don't want to waste any hearts. So I think we need to spend down the 14 now, even though that puts us at more of a delay to get the shipbuilder. Where do we want to spend down? I'm leaning towards a house. Where could we build a house? I think we might need to explore a tile if we want to build another house, because all of our tiles are either being used or there's an adjacency bonus. Oh, no. I can't build a house here because there's not a building next to it. To build a house, there needs to be a building next to it. I think it's about time that we explore one of these 2 tiles. Explore here, because this actually does help us. If there's a sea tile here, it would change where I place our next fisherman. But hopefully it's not a sea tile and it's not a grassland, because then that'll be a strong signal that this is an okay spot to place a house. Okay. And now 7 plus 13, that gets us 20, so we won't max out. All right, we have 20 to spend. And if we were to spend all 20 on a shipbuilder, then we wouldn't have enough hearts stocked up for winter, because we'll only have 13 at our next production round, and we need 25. What I will want to do though is plan on building a house on this tile. I really hope that a house is available at that tile, because if it doesn't make sense to build a house here, then we'll have to build a house somewhere that will hurt our overall heart production capacity. Okay. Oh. All right, that's a glacier, which we can't build on. I think we'll have to build a house here on this highland, which is going to cut down our highland production capacity by 1. I don't see a better place to though. Let's build a house. It will cost us 10. And then 10 plus 13, only 23. 23, if we spend the 10, we'll still get plus 13, but 23 isn't enough to get through winter if we roll a 25. And I don't want to risk it. I don't feel safe risking it. We could salvage the peat farm to get to 25. Yeah, or really probably salvage the woodcutter because this isn't a good spot for a woodcutter anyways. Oh, what if we salvage the woodcutter first and then build a house here? That's a good idea. Okay, because we'll want to find a better spot for the woodcutter anyways. We'll salvage this, which will be done in a day. So it'll be done before our next round of production. Okay, now we have 22 and we want to build a house. It'll cost 10, which puts us down to 12. And then we can add 12 to that, which gets us to 24. That pulls it a little bit close, but I like those odds better. Okay, plus 12 is 24. And I think I'm trying to decide if we should salvage the peat farm also. Oh, I don't want to, but I think we might need to. Yeah, well, I guess we can salvage the pasture. Yeah, well, let's resume. There's no reason to wait. Okay, so we're at 24. Yeah, I don't want to risk losing, because if we can't make it through winter, then this whole colony dies, which means that we'll be down 1 out of 9 shots. Okay, so we're up to the full 25 out of 25, which is enough to get us through winter. So let's continue on to winter now. And of any time, I hope that we get a 25, because that'll make me feel better for making the sacrifice that I made. 22, okay. We would have made it had we not salvaged the pasture, but I'm glad we made that choice nonetheless. Let's build a woodcutter and let's explore this tile. Those are the 2 things I'd like to do, is explore this tile and build a woodcutter. House completed. All right, so let's build a woodcutter and explore this tile. Zoom. All right, we built our woodcutter, which gets us up plus 12. And then let's see what's on this tile. Ooh, scratch that. We'll salvage. We're not in a rush to salvage that because it does cost 4 to rebuild it. Oh, we get plus 2, so it's just the time. And if we want to do some more exploring, because if there are woodlands up here, even though there's not a star, there might be more woodlands. Next up is we want to build a shipbuilder. So we're only going to be producing 1 more. It takes 4 days to build, which means that we won't get to use it in time. So if we spend 20, we'll have 7. And then 7 plus 12 is 19. There's no way we get to the next level as is. I think we explore. So that costs, I think we explore, let time pass, knowing that we need enough for winter. So we'll get 12 more, which puts us at a total of 39 hearts, which means that we have 10 hearts to spend. This costs 5, that costs 7. Are there any other tiles that cost 5? So if we could explore 2 that each cost 5, that would be good. This costs 5, that costs 5. These cost 7. Well, if this one's a mountain, that'll give us better production anyways. Explore here and here. Let's resume. And let's see. Oh, so we can hold 1 more. We didn't get cursed that time. This is probably where we'll build our next house, because we get a strong boost from the star for a house. And otherwise, we're just waiting for winter. I want to know if either of these spots are forest tiles, or if these spots are. What just happened? Oh, we got our next round of food, which we're just going to hold on to. Oh, the cost of winter went down to 20 to 28. So maybe it's relative. I just kind of assumed it always went up. It's encouraging that it came down. I was worried. I was doing the math that this might be our last round, but since the cost of winter went down, it'll be okay. Our next round of food will be up to 14. I'm trying to think how we would want to spend that. When we get to 14, we would need to wait to the next one to do the shipbuilder, which gets us to 24. And then we'd be down to 4 from there. And then plus 24 gets us to 28. Or plus 12 gets us to 28. We have enough if we wait for the shipbuilder. We'll have enough to get through winter. Now we have 20, which we can use for the shipbuilder. Build. All right, I think we'll be okay so far. Okay. Let's resume now. Okay, we're up to 18. And we have our shipbuilder, and now our fisherman is producing double. All right, now I am going to build a pasture here because just one more bit of production gets us from 17 per round to 18 per round, which will start the upgrade of our farmstead. And when we upgrade to the farmstead, we get +2 mastery points, which we can use towards our tide master so that 2 fishermen can be built. Now +18 will get us to 36 on the dot, right? No, 14 + 18, 24. It'll bring us to 32, which is enough for winter. So we could spend 4. I don't think there's any way to spend 4 that helps us. Tile exploration would cost much more than 4. We just need to get through winter and get to our next mastery to build another fisherman. 428, onward. In 3 rounds, we'll be able to do our next level of mastery. Let's resume. I think we'll want to build a house. We're going to need the space, and it takes 3 days to build that house. Oh, a wharf. We have a 4th level. When I was doing the last round, there was the farmstead, the mead hall, and the longhouse, or maybe the mead house. Mead hall was missing, but there were only 3 home upgrades. The wharf won't be available, and that's okay. Let's go spend our mastery points on the tide master and build our 2nd fisherman. Now, the majority of the spending we'll do next is trying to find some grassland, at least a couple patches of grassland, but it's also pretty inexpensive to explore here to see if we can find more wetland for our peat farm. And here for our woodcutter. I think just happened. I think we finished building our house. Now we're at +26, and we can't build a wharf yet. I feel really good about where we're at right now. We have strong heart production. What just happened? Oh, we produced our next bout of food. So we can continue exploring our next 2 tiles after these 2 are explored. We found a highland tile. That could be a good spot for a house. And a glacier. We know at most there could be 1 forest tile here, or 1 woodland. I'm going to start exploring here in case there might be 3 or 4 woodlands, which would then make sense to move our woodcutter over here. Now I'm going to do some quick math to see. I know we'll get to 32, but I just want to make sure that we don't make so many hearts that we run out of space. No, we won't run out of space because we only produce hearts once more. 26 + 26 is 52. Yeah, so we'll be okay because I'm about to spend 10 here or here. This is a curiosity tile, which means it can't be a forest. So I'm not going to find that one yet. So let's resume now. And a forest. Now the event was a random building gets destroyed. Which one? That's not the end of the world. Let's start salvaging this building so that we can move it down here. Put it here because there are 3 more opportunities for a woodland instead of here, which only has 2 more opportunities for a woodland. And then 26 is what we'll produce at our next production moment, plus the 16 that we have gets us to 42. So 42 out of, we need 32 to get through harvest. So we do have enough to spend on 1 more tile exploration. I'm going to explore here because I kind of want to know what's over here since we have our fishermen going over there. Let's resume now. Oh, you know what? I don't want to explore here because I want to be able to build a woodland. Well, I can wait a day to build the woodland after we get through winter. That'll be okay. Ooh, this is good. This is good that I waited because now we can build the woodland here and we still have 4 more opportunities. I'll cancel this because I actually want to explore up here now and hope that there is more woodland. All right, so we have, I don't think we need to spend 2. Let's get through winter. All right, onward. Now, I could wait until this tile is explored to build a woodland here, but even if I were to wait, the likelihood of both having more woodlands around it is the same. So I'm going to build my woodland here. They're all star woodlands, which is really good. That's very encouraging. And we're getting plus 23. We need 50. We'll want to build a house pretty soon here. There's a house there. Where do we want to build our next house? Build our next house on this wetland. But let's explore here in case there's more wetland there. Because then maybe, well, let's see if there's more mountain here. Because if there isn't mountain on either of these two tiles, if there is mountain, then I want to build a hunter here. But if there aren't mountains, then I can build a house there. Let's get enough to explore. All right, what just finished? Oh, is our next round of production. Explore 10 here, 7 here after our next explorer finishes. They found a glacier. We have plus 27 because our woodcutter just finished. Let's see what's over here, because that'll help us decide where to build our next house. All right, a glacier up here. And then I do want to find out what's over here. A glacier there. Let's just do a little more exploring. We have enough production that we're going to be okay. We get plus 27 every turn, or every production moment. That'll get us to 50 even if we spend all of our money down. I want to make sure we find an efficient point. That was a good one. Instead of 50 that we need to get to for winter, only 49. And we discovered there is a highland here. So we ought to put our house here, and then let's move our hunter. So we'll salvage the hunter, put the hunter here, which will then let us put a house there. We're already exploring that spot. Let's say I don't want to explore here, because then that leaves, well, we could explore one spot, which might influence us to put the hunter up here instead of here. Save the rest because, well, the house will cost 20. I don't think that's worth knowing. I think I should just build the hunter here either way. Cancel exploration. Now let's build our hunter here, and then we'll build our house here next. Oh, whoa, what just happened? I went to 36. Oh, shoot. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. This house is useless now up here. Thought about that. To make this house, I need an adjacent building. What can I put here? I can't do a gothy. How do I build a gothy? Gothy sacred. If I build a gothy here, the gothy costs 11. What does it give me? +1 harvest. Let's see, the gothy spiritual heart. So if I build a gothy here, then I can build the hallowed ravine here. It'll cost me a total of 20. Oh, I might have just lost with this. It cost me 30 total. I need 50. Cancel construction because I need to keep the hunter here so that this house will be okay. This is not going to be efficient, but I need to be able to store up to 50 to get through winter. Now I can hold the 50 that I need. It's a waste. Oh, I can start building the gothy here so that I can move over eventually. So I'm building the gothy there, which will let me build the hallowed ravine here. And when the hallowed ravine is here, the house will stay active when I move my hunter here. This is good. All right, now we have enough to get through winter. All right, we have the gothy, which gives us +28, which means our meat hall is upgrading. Let's get through winter. Now we have 13. Now, do we want to prioritize the weaver? Well, I think so. I think we ought. No, because we need storage. The weaver can come later. So we'll build the hallowed ravine. That'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds. Oh boy. Then I don't want to move the hunter until we get through production. Maybe it'll make sense for me to build the weaver though while everything's going, because we certainly have enough production. Not because I need more storage. We need 57 to get through winter, and we only have 51 right now. We're about to overproduce by a lot. Let's see. All right, let's let this upgrade happen. Now we can build the wharf. But the real question is, do we want to build the wharf? Oh, that could work. Sorry, I could use the mastery points to get us so that we can do 3, so that we can build 2 hunters. These forests are pretty strong though. Just trying to think, what would I want to do? I think letting everything produce +1 more might be the best choice, because I don't see much reason to build 2 of anything else. Maybe the hunter. Let's see what this also does. These middle points, doing one of these up to level 2 allows us to use adjacent tiles as a bonus tile. Let me see if any of the bonus tiles would be really strong. I know the sea tiles get a strong bonus from stars around them, there are no stars around them. The forest has one grassland around it. Is grassland the bonus? No, wetlands. Let's see. The peat farm's like grassland around it. I'm not even using a peat land right now. What about the mountains? Mountains want grassland. None of these are particularly strong. Well suited. Pasture would benefit from highland, which are the mountains. What this is to me is that I ought to do just one of each. Now I have plus 31 coming up. Do I want to spend? The wharf would cost me 25. And then my 2 production will get me there. But I need a house also. I still need a house. So if I spend 25, that leaves me with 48 minus 25, which would be 23. And I still need to build a house, which would go here. House costs 21. I think I should wait. We'll salvage this. We'll build it here. We'll build it here. And then we'll build a house on this wetland. And if last minute let's just do some last minute calculation to decide if we need to spend down. Let's build our hunter, which will take 2 days. And then we can build a house here. It'll cost 21, so we have 10 more to spend. Okay. This will be okay. Because, all right, I'm gonna hold off because I need to find out if we have access to extra storage for our next production round. Yes! Wait, I think so. I don't think we've produced anything yet. Let's just find out for a moment. Well, the wharf will take 6 days to build, so we wouldn't be able to use it now anyways. The house will take 3 days to build, so we would be able to use it, but we can't build it. We're not in a rush. Oh, I wasn't thinking about it. So we just lost resources because we were at 31 and we had up to 29 to add to it, but not enough storage. Let's build a house now. And then 30 plus 32. Oh, shoot. Oh, gosh. We're not going to have the house in time for our next production round. And what that means is we'll max out at 51. We'll have to do some salvaging. We can salvage this grassland, and we don't want to salvage the house. That grassland, we'll have to salvage the woodcutter to get us. Oh man, I think we'll need to do a lot of salvaging, but it will be important too. All right, we'll pause here for a moment. Now we know that our house will be ready before we finish salvaging. The house will give us enough storage. We need 6 more, which means that we need to salvage 3 buildings. We'll salvage this grassland. We'll salvage this fisherman. Oh, shoot. We only have 2 builders. So we're gonna be cutting this close. We could salvage something bigger because production isn't our, let's cancel that salvage and let's just cancel 1 building. And that'll give us enough. And then we can rebuild it. This is getting tricky. We finished the house, which means we have the capacity for 66 now. And this shipbuilder will finish salvaging in time. We got enough to get through winter. Let's get through winter now. Onward. All right, do we want to build anything yet before we get back to our shipbuilder? I don't think so. We'll get plus 25, so we'll have enough, so we could do some exploring. Where would we want to explore? Probably here. Here and here. Guess that will... No, we do want to find out more about these woodlands, because that's where we'll want to do our next big productions. Let's build our shipbuilder. And then where's our next house going to be? We can do a house here now. We found a wetland. We have enough for our next house. But do we want to build the wharf first? The wharf will cost 25. And then if we do that, it'll triple production. It'll take 6 days, which means we need to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need to do it in the next 2 days. We will be able to in the next 2 days. So if we have the wharf in time, the wharf would take 6 days to build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We wouldn't be able to see the benefit of it this time. Is that if we don't see the benefit of it this time? We'll have, if we spend 25, that'll put us down to 8. We'll get plus 50. We'll be at 58. No, we don't have enough for that. Well, no, because we will get double production from here, which will take us from 25 Let's see, when we double production, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll get 11 more, so we'll be at plus 36. Plus 36. That gets us, even if we don't have enough for a house, that'll get us to 66. Let's do the wharf. Plus 32. Let me just think this through. I thought it was plus 36. We're at plus 32, 64, so we need 2 left over. We would have at least 2 left over. Let's do that. We'll have a little bit of wasted heart. We'll get to our 66 max without a house, but I think that's worth it. We're at 40 now. We'll get 32. 66, I'm just trying to think how much we can spend. 66 minus 32, 34. So we can spend down to 34. So we can spend 6 more. Where would we want to spend 6? Do we want to build anything here? Oh, maybe eventually this. I can't think of any ways that we would want to spend 6. I guess we could do, let's do a peat farm here. Oh, perfect, it costs 5. Now we're only wasting 1. All right, let's keep going. We're at 66, we need 66. Let's get through winter. Ooh, plus 39 coming up here. That'll be exciting because our fishermen just tripled since the wharf finished. All right, 55, onward. We need to get to plus 50 to get to the next round. All right, plus 39, there we go. Now let's build a house. And say we ought to build a carpenter. Oh, we still only need 66. That's nice. Finished our house. We probably want another house coming up here, which means we need to find a place to put it. We can always put our house here. How much does another house cost? 31. Okay, let's just see where our next spot takes us. All right, if we build a Halloween Lagoon Sacred here, the Goatee Harvest Multiplier. Let's see what that does. And let's do some exploring. All right, we're at 52. So we'll get 42 at our next production moment. We need 66. Which means that we need 24 left over, so we can spend 30. Where should we spend that 30 is the question. I think we should spend it on exploring. Let's do here, and then we'll have a little bit extra. We still have 16 to spend, but we're doing 2 event tiles, so we might need that money. All right, minus 25% construction time. Oh, so we can actually build stuff faster now. That was a good one. All right. Let's see if this next one's good. We won't find out until after our next bout of production. So we really want to spend down. We have the capacity for 76, minus 45, 31. So we want to spend 9. And if we need to spend 10, I guess we could. I'd feel comfortable with that. Oh, yeah. Because I was thinking if we spent more than 9, that would get us below 66. But no, that gets us below 76, and it's okay if we have some extra space. So we can spend up to, we ought to spend 10, but we can spend up to 20. I want to find out what's up here. I think that would be good. And if this had some peat moss or whatever, if we had some wetland up here for peat farm, that would be good. And if there happens to be some sea, that would be even better. Okay, Explorer's busy. Spent 10, yeah. This is perfect. All right, so we have 75 with the capacity for 76. Let's see what we find here before winter. Oh, construction cost goes up 1. And a mountain, so that'll be a good spot for our next house because, oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, maybe. I think I'll actually want to build, because we just need to get to 50 per turn to get through this round. We might delete the pasture and then build a, whatever the next wood is, the one that triples the woodcutter, triples the carpenter. The smithy will triple the carpenter. We'd want to build a smithy here, and then we can hopefully find a grassland somewhere else. We found this spot here. I'll start salvaging this. Right, 26 left over. That helps a lot. We do a lot with 26. What do we want to do with 26 is the question. I don't think we need to do much because we've just about won. We want to build a smithy. We need 41 hearts. We'll be there soon. This is going to be a close call. It'll take us 5 turns to get there, and it'll get us to, so we don't have the capacity for 92 hearts, which is what we need to get through winter. I think this should just be an all or nothing. Oh, that doesn't, no. We need to find a way to get plus one more heart pretty easily. Build a house there. What about, can we build that'll give us an easy plus one? We can do some exploring, yes. It's kind of our last bet because I don't see how we can get to 92 capacity in time. Really want one of these guys to be appropriate. Just trying to think. Let's cancel and see if we can build another building. What could we build here? Hallowed Bog Sacred. Requires an adjacent Gothi. Let's see how this works out. Oh, this would double the production of an adjacent hunter and minus 25% exploration time. The alternative is to double a bog. Oh, that's okay. We could do that. This kiln doubles peat farm. Hopefully building the smithy and the kiln will get us to 50 per turn quickly enough. We still have enough. So let's do some exploring. We just need to get to 50 per turn before winter. All right, that gets us to 46. And let's wait to find out, because if it doesn't get us there, we'll need to figure out storage ASAP. All right, so how many days will it take to build? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days to build. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have enough days. All right, well, let's do some exploring just for the heck of it. Actually, no, I think that's an okay spot to explore. But let's build a house for the heck of it. Another one for 36 up here, or here for 36. Right. Oh, hey, we would want to build another house, right? Wait, maybe not. 59. One house will give us plus 10, which gets us to 86 out of 92. It's not enough, and I don't think we'd want to chance it. If we do build a house, then we'll get to 54, 64, 74, 77. We would need to salvage an additional 87. An additional 15. Salvaging that gets 10. Salvaging that gets 12. We could salvage the wharf and this. We could salvage the smithy, which will return 20. That's what we'd want to do. House complete. House complete. Now 54 plus 23 gets us to 77. 77, 87, 97. Yeah, let's get rid of this smithy. Gets us up to where we want to be. Good, 96 of 96. All right, so that gets us through winter. Let's go through winter. We passed the round because our house upgraded. We made it through the round. I'm just kind of curious. I want to build a little bit to see where we would have gone, but we've built our Great Hall, which means that this area is settled now. What I want to do, I do want to go back and build the smithy. We don't have enough hearts. We have enough hearts. And all right, because I want to see this whole Gothi situation. Ooh, plus winter's toll. All right, so now we can build. This Gothi it's got me curious. Like, I wonder what we can build around it. Now we can build a bog sacred. I just want to learn what this Gothi does. It's just so fascinating to me. Let this build, and let's do a little more exploring just for the fun of it. Let's see, where do we want to explore? I never did find out what was here. Let's find out what's over here while we wait. We have so much money to spend, but nowhere to live. Let's build some houses while we're at it. House 46. We finished exploring here. Oh, there's not much. We'll let this Gothi thing be built, and then we'll go ahead and accept the victory. This one up 1. Well, it's complete settlement. Well, that's exciting. And we'll pause here. I'm going to head to bed, but we'll do the next settlements in the future. Okay.